This is a video record of our trip to Paris from July 30th to August 4th, 2014. This is part 3. In this part we visit the Louvre Museum, the d'Orsay Museum, Sainte Chapelle, Notre Dame, and the Arc de Triomphe. This was August 2nd and our 4th day in Paris. We woke up bright and early and, as usual, started our day with breakfast in the hotel restaurant. After breakfast, we headed off to catch the subway that would take us to our first stop of the day, the Louvre Museum. We arrived at the museum at about 9 a.m. The pyramid in the middle of the museum courtyard is the entrance to the museum. As we knew it would be, the line to get into the museum was a mile long, but fortunately we had taken the precaution of purchasing 2 Paris museum passes before we left LA, which allowed us to bypass the lines and enter the museum. I will show you a few of the highlights of the art treasures we saw at the museum. The Louvre used to be a royal palace, so much of the walls and ceilings are decorated accordingly. This is called the Venus de Milo. It is an ancient Greek statue. This statue is called Winged Victory. It is also Greek in origin. This, of course, is the Mona Lisa by Da Vinci. It was much smaller than we had expected. It only measures 20 inches by 30 inches. This is John the Baptist, also by Da Vinci. This painting is called Madonna and Child by Michelangelo. Okay, we just got through seeing the Louvre, and we're outside of the Louvre as I speak. And we are getting ready to go to the d'Orsay Museum, d'Orsay. So we're shooting a few more shots of the Louvre. It's like a square U shape. And it used to be the palace until the French Revolution, and then they took it over and they turned it into a museum. After we left the Louvre courtyard, we walked in the direction of the Arc de Triomphe, shown here on the right. We turned left and walked over the Pont Royal, which took us to our next destination, the d'Orsay Art Museum. The d'Orsay has a very unique exterior clock. It is unique because you can see through the clock from the inside of the museum. The d'Orsay was originally a train station, and the interior still retains a train station architecture. Here are 2 examples of the artwork contained in the d'Orsay. The first is by the French Impressionist Auguste Renoir. The second is by another Impressionist, Alfred Sisley. We had lunch in the museum cafeteria, and then we went up to the 5th floor balcony facing the River Seine and got fantastic views of Paris. After we finished at the d'Orsay, we walked across the street to this bridge. The bridge has become a magnet for young French couples. They buy a padlock, write their names on it, and attach it to the bridge. As you can see, it has really become popular. On the bridge, we also saw these 2 tourists having a heated conversation. Well, maybe it was just a poster. But we were at the same spot. We next walked through the gardens situated between the Place de la Concorde and the Louvre. Just on the other side of the garden, we saw this little traveling carnival. We continued to the gate you see on the right of the picture, turned right, and walked to the Ile de la Cité. There were two places on La Cité that we wanted to see, Sainte Chapelle Church and Notre Dame Cathedral. Sainte Chapelle is a small church with the tallest and most extensive stained glass windows in any church in Paris. Here is a small section of the windows from the outside. This is the first floor where you find the ticket office and a small gift shop. The church is one floor up. So we walked up the stairs, and here's what we saw. I was only able to film on the right side of the church because the entire left side wall and its corresponding stained glass was covered due to restoration work. You can see part of the covering on the left. Notre Dame in all its glory. If you look closely, you can see Quasimodo up there waving. See ya? Thank you, Quasi. I am zooming in on a famous round stained glass window, and here it is from the inside. These windows are just below that round window. Okay, we're inside Notre Dame Cathedral. Just as we were leaving Notre Dame, we saw this bride and groom coming out of a rear entrance of the cathedral. It's interesting that we have seen a wedding party on almost every trip we've taken to Europe. By now it was late afternoon and we decided to return to our hotel and have dinner before we ventured out for more sightseeing. We thought about taking a less conventional mode of transport back to the hotel, but at the last minute we decided to take the subway instead. After we had rested up, we walked around the corner from our hotel and had dinner at this restaurant called Bistro Romain. Yep, Italian again, but this time French-Italian pizza, which was exceptionally good, with ice cream for dessert. That night, Robin and I returned to the Arc de Triomphe, but this time we were going up on top to view Paris at night and watch the lighting of the Eiffel Tower. Okay, this is Saturday night. We are now up on top of the Arc de Triomphe. And over there you can just see the top of the Eiffel Tower. This is the Avenue Charles de Gaulle, one of the 12 streets that radiate out from the Arc de Triomphe. This is everybody waiting for the Eiffel Tower to start twinkling.